This is Dr. Roddy Ferguson. I'm a 2004 Olympian, a four-time national judo champion, and also a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I have the pleasure and privilege to be the son of Rufus Ferguson, who is also known as Rufus the Roadrunner Ferguson, who is a running back at the University of Wisconsin. The reason why I am shooting this video is because as a young child, I remember growing up and hearing the stories of my father when he played football, from Killian High School in Miami, Florida, all the way through college at the University of Wisconsin, and his pro career and his stints in the Canadian Football League, the World Football League, and also in the NFL. From that particular span of time, I've known my father to be the first 1,000-yard rusher at the University of Wisconsin. Even in the history books, he's been noted as the first 1,000-yard rusher at the University of Wisconsin. If you look at this particular book on Wisconsin, the history of Badger athletics from 1896 to 1998, my father is sitting right here in the book as the first 1,000-yard rusher from the University of Wisconsin. I will read the excerpt for you. Rufus Roadrunner Ferguson still stands 7th on the all-time Badger career rushing list with 2,814 yards, more than a generation after ending his Wisconsin career. The Miami native who prepped at Killian High School was a first-team All-Big Ten pick at running back in 1971 and in 1972. The first UW back to exceed 1,000 yards in a season, 1,222 in 1971. Ferguson also set a single season scoring mark that year with 80 points. Ferguson ran for 100 yards in more than 12 games in his career, reaching a single game high of 211 yards against Minnesota in 1971. A standout student as well, Ferguson was a second-team academic All-American in 1971 and a first-team All-Academic pick as a senior. He was MVP of the 1972 North-South Shrine game. Ferguson was inducted into UW Athletic Hall of Fame in 1993. Now, understand this. Years later, all of a sudden, some type of magical accounting or numerical happenstance, Alan Amici has been promoted to the first 1,000-yard rusher at the University of Wisconsin, which is not possible. Rufus Ferguson was the first 1,000-yard rusher at the University of Wisconsin. First single-season 1,000-yard rusher at the University of Wisconsin. Period, point blank, in the story. What they decided to do from what I understand, was when they were recounting the numbers to make sure that a recent running back, I really forget his name, was one of the best running backs from the University of Wisconsin, but his name slips me right now. They wanted to make sure he was an all-time leading ground gainer, etc., so they started counting postseason play. When you count Alan Amici's regular season along with his postseason play, he becomes a 1,000-yard rusher at University of Wisconsin. But that's postseason play, which isn't guaranteed by anyone. Postseason play also has to do with how good your team was. But in a regular season, the first 1,000-yard rusher from the University of Wisconsin, that's Rufus Ferguson. Now, what I can't understand is how my dad has a record, or he has a place in the history books, and then it's all of a sudden taken away and removed. And my pop is 60 years old now. My pop gets on the internet, listens to YouTube, and now he hears someone else who has been designated as a 1,000-yard rusher in his mind. He can't rationalize that in his mind because he can't get it. Because from the time that he played at University of Wisconsin to the time that he left, until most recently, he's been the first 1,000-yard rusher from the University of Wisconsin. And now it seems like someone has removed him from that position and put Alan Amici there, who only had 900 and something yards. Every newspaper clipping, everything that I have in my home, that my dad has, and we have in our archives, has my papa as the first 1,000-yard rusher at the University of Wisconsin. And I'm making this video because it seems to be an issue or a problem with University of Wisconsin recognizing that. I'm not sure what the issue or problem is. I do have an idea, though.